What is going on, everyone? I'm Jada Black here. Another video. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about Dave Chappelle and his tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes and how it's pretty much been at 0%. I went and I looked to see if it's been updated before I recorded this, and it's up to 17%. And the audience score has not been posted yet, with about 6, I believe, counted. But, it's very interesting the amount of outrage that has come of this document. Y'all know I did a video speaking on this thing and the culture that we are in, encompassing everything into one particular video. You can go and check it out. I'll probably link it in the box. Now, I'm going to read a little bit from this article from Breitbart. Yes, Breitbart. Because they're pretty much the only ones reporting on this. It says Rotten Tomatoes, the review aggregation website for film and television, has given veteran comedian Dave Chappelle's latest Netflix stand-up special Sticks and Stones a 0% rating. The Chappelle special has received a total of 5 critic ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, almost all of which consider it a bust. Now, I want y'all to understand that Netflix, Rotten Tomatoes has hired, I believe, over 600 people to its staff of reviewers, so to speak. And the fact that you've only gotten 6 in so far lets you know that there are people who are outraged, and they're outraged to the point to where they probably won't watch it, or they will just try to do some type of silent boycott because they didn't like what Dave Chappelle said. Dave Chappelle called out this culture that we have of idiocy, degeneracy, self-entitlement, cancel culture that we have, and people don't like that, And I'm gonna get to some of these reviews, and I'm gonna tell you why the regressive left and the media, that's why I call it the lamestream media. Because Rotten Tomatoes pretty much works for some of these movie companies by the way they go out of their way to protect films like Captain Marvel, and this just shows it. Slate's Inku Kong, a top critic for Rotten Tomatoes, says Chappelle's special is like dropping in on a rascally uncle who doesn't know or doesn't care how much he's disappointing you. Allison Herman of The Ringer also criticized the special and says Sticks and Stones is designed to generate inflammatory coverage. It's a symbiotic cycle with no end in sight, and it's become the last thing a beloved provocateur should ever want to be predictable. Listen, man, this special was anything but predictable. There was nothing predictable about what he said. That's why you see fake outrage. That's why you see that he only has a 0% or, well, when I last looked, a 17% on the tomato meter. That is because it wasn't predictable. What would have been predictable was speaking about Trump and going in on conservatives. Oh, that would be provocative. That would be riveting. Well, that would probably have 95% on the tomato meter. That is what you call predictable, because that's what some of these comedians have been doing, or some of these late night talk show hosts do. All they do is talk about the same things, and they're seen as being provocateurs, so to speak. But when you go and you speak against what we have become as a society, as a culture, you're seen as being predictable. There's nothing predictable about that. I think people just can't take the fact that he did not go along and toe the party line. He did what he wanted to do, and he accomplished what he wanted to accomplish because he was able to speak out and do what a lot of other celebrities are afraid to do, and that is just be honest and be real. Did he say some cringy, were there certain parts of that stand-up that were cringy? Yeah. But that doesn't mean that overall it was predictable, or he's not changing. He's doing the same thing over and over. Like, come on. So I guess if he did a whole stand up talking about Caucasian people, would that be riveting? Sticks and Stones is terrible, and Dave Chappelle can only blame himself for that, another reviewer wrote. Chappelle, who currently faces scrutiny from those who find fault in his material, called out America's growing cancel culture during his Netflix special, saying everybody's doomed. Let's see. That's you, Dave Chappelle says. That's what the audience sounds like to me. That's why I don't be coming out doing comedy all the time, because y'all N-words is the worst MFers I ever tried to entertain in my life. I'm sick of it. This is the worst time ever to be a celebrity. I agree. I agree with Dave. You're going to be finished. Everybody's doomed, Chappelle added. I agree 100% with that. You know, when I was younger, I always thought that it would be cool to be famous. You know, I always wanted to live the life of a celebrity. That's when I was younger. And I would see TV shows, I would look at magazines, and I'd be like, I would want to live that life. You know, I'd want to be a celebrity, you know, be able to live a life where people only get to see me when I'm in movies or TV shows, or if I'm playing sports, or, you know, when I'm at events, you know, just to be able to enjoy being a celebrity, be an attraction, right? But now being a celebrity is a gift and it's a curse. It really is. I think a lot of celebrities nowadays wish that it could go back to before social media. Social media has ruined what a celebrity was, because now anybody can be a celebrity. You can tweet about being woke and go viral and be a celebrity. You can talk about, you know, catching your boyfriend cheating, and you can become Uber Bay or something like that. You know, it's just so easy to be a celebrity, and it's so easy to have access to celebrities. A celebrity could say something, and if people don't agree with it, they will troll that person. They'll go into their comment sections, their DMs, until that person apologizes. People are living in a bigger bubble every single day. They can't enjoy the fame that they have worked hard to get to. And I can understand why Dave said, listen, I don't be out like that. I don't do a lot of shows like that, because you work all this time to be at a point to where, you know, you are a celebrity. You know, you're seen for your talent, not for who you're dating, you know, not for your political beliefs. Because nowadays you have to fit a certain prototype. You have to be super liberal. You have to accept every group. You have to speak out against 45. And if you don't, you're going to be trolled, criticized until you bend the knee. Okay, some more from the article. Among the many who have decided to take aim at Chappelle, the Daily Beast claims Chappelle's jokes are problematic. Hart was clearly joking when he wrote those incendiary tweets, Chappelle says, writing what happened to the comedian into his own problematic history, joking about the alphabet community. He is not so much reflecting a blind spot he's had when it comes to those issues, but actually shining a spotlight on his controversial approach. You are never ever allowed to upset the alphabet people before launching into a set that risks doing just that, but also might be championed by the more self-aware of the community. Last month, Rotten Tomatoes said it had added more than 600 new critics to its review platform in the past year, more than half of which were women. And that is due in part to Captain Marvel and the amount of criticism that Brie Larson and that film has gotten. And they want to add more women to keep to push their narrative about these Disney films, because y'all know these Disney films are going to start going into a completely left woman is the future direction. You know, there's still lots to do, but we've learned a lot. Paul Yonover, president of Fandango, Rotten Tomatoes parent company. Let me just say this, man. Comedians should be able to be comedians. Just like celebrities should be able to live their life the way that they want to, they should not have to live in a world where they have to constantly worry about other people's thoughts and feelings about them. Okay? But we are in a society where we can't even enjoy films, movies, TV shows without there being some political agenda being pushed, without, the women are this, the women are just as strong as men. Like, no one cares. We just want to be able to enjoy films and movies and comedy. But you have people who have no sense of humor because they're hurting. You have a lot of hurt people who want to hurt other people. That is the truth. You have a lot of people who didn't like what Dave Chappelle said because it went against everything they're trying to push. They're trying to push a narrative that we should accept every community. Women should be able to do everything a man should do. Masculinity is toxic. You need to be more like women. And what they don't understand is that is problematic. When you try to push these agendas, those things are what's problematic. But they don't understand that. But let me just say this. I think that Dave Chappelle's stand-up is one of the best that I've seen in a long time because it was authentic. You can tell when you listen to him, it was his thoughts. It was his feelings about where we are as society. He put a mirror in the face of society, and you have a lot of people who don't like it. If you want to see the full audio cast, make sure you go to the description box, click the link, and go over there and watch it. And you can also download the show as well.